Hello everyone, welcome to my channel here on YouTube, All Things Tree. Hopefully you all are having a great day. It has been many moons since I uploaded a video here on YouTube, but I am trying to get my YouTube life together, so I'm going to start back posting videos, but I'm going to do a different direction when it comes to my channel. As you look at my previous videos, I have done some makeup videos, some do-it-yourself projects. I've also done a couple reviews, but I'm going to change the direction of my channel just a little bit, and I'm going to talk about something that is important to me and something that me and my husband is going through and has been going through for the last couple years, to be exact 7 years. But it is infertility, and a lot of couples deal with infertility, but a lot of people don't want to talk about it because a lot of people are ashamed the fact that they're having trouble having kids. But it's something that a lot of couples deal with, and that's infertility. So I want to talk about my journey. I want to in March, I'll be going to a fertility specialist. I'm going to document, my journey just so I can help someone. And not only that, but there's a lot of people going through it. And so not only will I be a help to someone else, but then you all can comment and, down below and give me your journey. And so we can help and encourage each other, because it is a very emotional, physical, drain that infertility do on you as a person, whether you're a male or you're female. In your marriage, it's a journey on its own. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about my journey and the things that I have been going through. Okay, so just a little backstory of my journey. I started my period at the age of 12. So from 12 to 24, my period was irregular. From the age of 12 to 24, it was very irregular. Like, I would come on maybe once a year, once every couple months, or I come on good for a couple months, then I won't come back on. So from 12 to 24, my cycle was just like jacked up. And so in that time, when I was about I think like 18, went to the doctor. My mom took me to the doctor. They ran all these tests. They put me on birth control pills. Then we went to Germany because my dad, he's retired. Retired from the army, but at that time we were stationed in Germany. So of course the American doctors didn't know what was wrong with me, so they sent me to German doctors. They did a lot of tests and everything. Basically, they just said that I had a hormonal imbalance. So they put me on birth control pills, they put me on estrogen pills, they put me in a whole bunch of pills. And, it would work and stuff. And at that time, like I said, I was about 1920, I was told from the doctor that whenever I get ready to have kids, that I may need a little more help as far as like medicine or shots, since my hormones were so unbalanced. So from 12 to 24, 25, my cycle was unbalanced. At the age of 24, I had a gallbladder surgery. Now, it may not have nothing to do with each other, but I know that when I had the surgery, like I said, my period had been irregular for like 12 years. And after I had that surgery, the next month I was regular and been regular ever since. So I don't know if when they did the gallbladder, they went in there and moved something around. I'm not sure. But I do know after that moment on, my period has been 21 days since, on up until August. But we're going to get to that. So start my period. At the age of 25, my cycle was regular, but I had a little concern about them still being a little unbalanced. And so from Google, I looked up my symptoms, and so I went to my OB and was like, I think I have PCOS. My period was regular, but I had the weight gain, and you have hairs that come up that don't supposed to be the places they're supposed to be. So she took all my blood work. I was about 25. She took all my blood work, and she said it was fine. I don't have PCOS, but she did put me on birth control pills just to kind of, regulate me, even though I was regular. So I really don't know why she put me on birth control pills. But anyway, she put me on birth control pills. Stayed on those for like a couple months, and I got off them because I didn't like the way they made me feel, and I would forget to take the pills. But I was taking them because, not because I was trying to get pregnant. Because me and my husband, we got married when I was 33. When we got married, I was still a virgin. So that's why I taken birth control pills and stuff. I didn't really take it serious. I just kind of took it, and once it made me sick or I forgot, I wasn't really taking it serious because I wasn't taking it not to get pregnant. So when me and my husband got married, I was 33, he was 35. So I kind of knew that, I kind of knew from the doctors when I was a teenager, I kind of knew they would probably take me a minute to get pregnant. So I wasn't, trying to like, well, really bummed out if it didn't happen like the first couple months or the first year. So, like I said, we got married in 2012. I was 33. So we pretty much just tried on our own for like 2 years. And so in 2014, I was 35. I went back to this, I went to an OBGYN here where I lived at. I told him that I have infertility just from Googling. You know how they say if you're a certain age, you don't supposed to try too long or anything like that. So I went to the doctor. So he did like all this blood work on me, did my ovulation, he did a whole bunch of blood work. And so he was like, you're fine. So he was like, we're gonna test your husband. So my husband did his first sperm test, and it didn't come back good. Because we didn't know the rules. They didn't tell us the rules till after, that you weren't supposed to do anything or anything like that. So we didn't know the rules. So he went back and did it again. The doctor was like, okay, I don't remember the numbers or anything like that, but the doctor was like, well, he's fine. And so my doctor told me all my paperwork was fine. He was like, all my blood work on my labs was great. So I'm like, okay, so it still didn't happen. So I didn't like him. I didn't like his bedside manners, because we was in the exam room, him and my mom. He's eating lunch in the exam room. And I'm like, this is like some unprofessional stuff. So went to another OB, the same one that I was going to when I was like 20 something. So she took my blood work again, and she's like, oh, everything is fine. It's nothing to worry about. All your levels, all this is fine. But I'm going to put you on Clomid to kind of help you out since it's 35. I'm like, okay. So from 2014 to 2017, I pretty much, it never happened. So, like I said, I went to another OB. Oh, you're fine. Oh, your blood work is fine. Nothing's wrong. You're ovulating. She put me on Clomid. In 2014, I took it for like 2 months, but I got sick the first month, so I didn't take it anymore. So from 2014 to 2017, I got pretty much irritated. Because we're trying, I'm doing ovulation tests. I know I'm ovulating because I know my body. I'm doing the test. I'm tracking ovulation. Any type of vitamin that I will Google, like primrose oil, all kind of vitamins. My mom even got me some tea for fertility, like geritol. I had my husband on stuff. So anything like over the counter as far as like vitamins or herbs that you could try, I tried. It just still wasn't happening for us. And so there was times that I'm like, I track my ovulation, and there's times my husband's like, when you ovulate, I'm like, I don't know. Because if you ever dealt with it before, it's mental, physically, and emotionally draining. So I'm just like, you know what? When it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's not God's timing. I don't know what it is. All I know is all my OBs said, oh, you're fine. Like your ovary reserved. You got eggs, all this and all that. And then my husband got sperm, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So in 2017, I decided, I'm like, me and my husband talked about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the doctor, and we're going to try to see if anything changed, because apparently something's got to be wrong, because it's not happening. So I went to the doctor in 2017. At this time I was 39. I went to the doctor. She was like, oh, you're fine. So she took all my blood work, like big blood work. So took all my blood work, all my levels, all that was fine. Then she did a ultrasound and found out I had a cyst in my right ovary. So she was like, well, I can't give you Clomid. I can't give you anything until, you get the cyst out. So she was like, well, I need to remove your ovary. And I really wasn't feeling her either. So I'm like, okay, So I went to another doctor. Pretty much took all my labs. So one thing that I do is that when I get blood work and labs and stuff, I always like log on and get my own stuff. So I can look up my own results. I always do that. And so went to another doctor. She was like, yeah, you have cysts and you have one in the right ovary and we're going to have to remove the ovary. And I'm like, oh no. So from 2018, I was like, you know what? We're still not getting pregnant. So I'm like, okay, let me go to another doctor. So I went to a doctor here. I liked him though. And so I went to a doctor here and I gave him all my paperwork. He ran his own labs and all that stuff. And meanwhile, just to let you know, I do ovulate. I've always ovulated on my own. I do my ovulation test. I know my body and I know when I ovulate, and I was taking the ovulation test. So I do ovulate. So I went to him, told him about the cyst. He was like, we got to remove the cyst, and then after we remove the cyst, then I can give you some medicine, some Clomid. But he did all my blood work and all that, and everything was fine. And so I asked him, I was like, so he asked me, when's the last time my husband had a sperm test? I'm like, the last time he had a test was 2014. So he was like, well, we're going to give another one. So I'm like, okay. I told the doctors, I want to make sure my husband has sperm, because if he got sperm and I got an egg, like, why it ain't happening, So my doctor took my husband's sperm. I don't remember the numbers, the millions, how many was moving and all that stuff. The only thing I heard the doctor said was, he got sperm and it's enough to get you pregnant. Like, that's all I remember. At one time I did have the results, but I don't remember the numbers and the millions and who was going this way and that way and which one was going backwards. All that I know is that he said that he had sufficient enough sperm to get me pregnant. So the doctor was like, well, I'm going to remove your ovary. And so he explained it to me better than everybody else. So my cyst was the size of a grapefruit on my right ovary, and he said that with ovarian cancer, the cysts they're hard. The tumors are hard. He said that mine, the one I had, was getting hard. So half of it was hard, getting hard, and the other half wasn't. So that's why he wants to hurry up and take it out. So I had surgery May 2018. He took out the ovary. After that, he put me on Clomid. A couple months after that, he put me on Clomid. I did that for about 3 months. I tracked my ovulation, and we still didn't get pregnant. So I took a couple months off because I was just drained. Like, I was just like, my mind wasn't there. I'm drained. I'm irritated because everybody said I'm fine. I'm frustrated. So my mom and my husband were like, you just take a little break. So I took a little break off Clomid. Decided to get back on, went back to my doctor. He put me on 100 milligrams of Clomid. I think the first time he put me on 100 too. So I got back on 100 milligrams of Clomid. I was doing my ovulation. I was doing the clear blue, the smiley face, the 4-day, the expensive test. I was doing that. I'm getting my smiley face. We're pinpointing, we're documenting, making sure that we hit the fertile, times of the month and everything like that. Still didn't happen. So all of a sudden in October of 19, I know my body. August. I know my body well. And I told my husband, I told my mom, I was like, I didn't ovulate. Like, I know my body and I know I did not ovulate. Even though I was on 100 milligrams, I was like, I did not ovulate. And then my period was like 30 something days late, which I said before, from the age of 24 to then, my period was 28 days to the T. Give or take a day every now and then. And so I went, he had me taking the day 21, and the nurse office called, my doctor's office called, was like, no, your ovulation was 0.5. He was like, you didn't ovulate. So I'm like, okay, I knew I didn't ovulate. So he was like, I'm going to put you on 150. So I'm like, okay. Because he said, I only have one ovary. So he was like, well, I'm going to give you a little more because all of that one ovary doing all the work. So he put me on 150. My period was late again. Took the 21-day test. No, this time he told me to take 27, just in case I ovulated late. So I took the 27-day test. I came up 0.15. He was like, I don't know, you're not ovulating, so come in. So I came in, and he was like, well, I'm gonna he told me to come, I think day 21 or one day of my menstrual cycle to see if I have the cyst to show that you ovulated. So came in there, took the thing, and he said that I didn't have that cyst, but I had another cyst. So I'm like, I just had my right ovary taken out because of a grapefruit. So I says, now you said I got another cyst. He said it wasn't big, but he said I had another cyst. And at this time, my period had been late like 2 months. And so I start freaking out, and I'm Googling stuff. And you know, Google is straight. However, Google will stress you out and scare you half to death. So I'm Googling my symptoms, and then I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm thinking like I'm going through menopause. I'm like, oh God, I'm going through menopause. I have a little oil reserve. Like, I Googled all this stuff. So I'm freaking out. I'm crying and carrying on. My mom and my husband was like, oh my God, you know, I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through menopause. I was only late like 2 months, but I wasn't like, I think it was like one time I was like 9 days, 10 days late. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through menopause. Because my mom went through menopause like in her middle 40s. I'm like, I'm 41, oh my God. So went to the doctor. He took my test. He took like, this was like November of 19. He took the FSH test, the LH test, the estrogen test. He took all that was fine. That particular month I did ovulate. I ovulated 24.5. That's what my ovulation was. But he was like, well, I don't want you to take no more Clomid, because he didn't know if the 150 was too strong, and that's what gave me a cyst. So he was like, I don't want to take no more Clomid. So the last time I took Clomid was November. It's November or December was the last time I took Clomid. And I still have a prescription, but I don't take it. And so he was like, we got to monitor the cyst. So my insurance changed in January. He no longer takes my insurance. Plus he's retiring anyway. So I found me a new OB here. Well, an hour from where I stay at. A new OB. I like her. So I went to her, told her about the cyst. And then I told her about, you know, we've been trying to get pregnant ever since 2012, and now it's 2020. So the first thing she said was, I'm sending you to a fertility clinic. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Because like the place where we live at, the one that's close to us, you have to have a referral. And so no OBs I've ever been to, ever, I was trying to like, I would like stress to them like, Google say that you shouldn't be trying, but only X amount of time for this age. Like, what do y'all think wrong? Do I need to go to somebody else? Like, what do you think wrong? And no doctors ever. They always like, oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And I'm like, you want to believe what they say because they're a medical profession, but like deep down inside, I'm like, I don't want anything to be wrong, but I'm like, something gotta be going on. Because I'm not pregnant. And so she's sending me to a fertility specialist, and that's the first thing she was like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 41. She was like, no. She was like, they say 40 is the new 30. She said, but that goes with everything but your ovaries. She was like, if you're 40, you're 50, your ovaries is that age. So she was like, no, that's the first thing I want to do is to send you to a fertility specialist. So, and then she also checked me for cysts on my left side. Found out that the cyst is still there. They told me yesterday that the cyst is still there, but the cyst is small. So she said she don't think that it don't need surgery or anything like that now. So she's thinking it'll just, you know, go away on its own. So March the 20th, I have an appointment to a fertility specialist, and I'm nervous and I'm excited. And like I told my mom, that any way it go, And I told my husband too. I said, anywhere it go, I'm gonna be pissed off. Like, anywhere I go, when I go to the doctor's office, when I go see the specialist, I'm gonna be pissed off. Anyway, I'm gonna be pissed off because I'm gonna be pissed off if it's something simple that's wrong. I'm gonna be pissed off because I've been like in limbo for like almost 8 years, and then if it's something major wrong, I'm really gonna be pissed off because once again, I have been in limbo for the last 8 years. So I'm excited, and I get to go. Finally, I got referred to when I have been asking. And even though I am 41 years old, my mom, well, my husband, when he's not working, he go with me too. But my mom always go with me into the doctor's office. Like, she always go, like, I'm 41, but she always going there with me. But my husband can, he do too. But my mama always go in there with me because my mom is a lot more aggressive than me. Like, I mean, I'm aggressive to a certain extent, but doctors, sometimes they just be want to tell you what you want to hear. My mom would be aggressive. Like, I went to my last OB, not the new lady, but the other one. My mom was like, well, can you give her this? And can you give her that? Like, my mama, like, she be on them. So me and her both, like, well, is there something wrong? Like, so they all like, oh, you're fine. So like I said, we're gonna be pissed off because I just been swinging around, jumping on the tulips for freaking 8 years. So, well, almost 8 years. So yeah, so this is my intro to my trying to conceive. So, like I said, I have my appointment on not November. March the 20th. So I'm going to come back and talk about, what they said, how much it's going to cost, and all that. Just so someone, if you have an appointment coming up or you want to make an appointment, then I'm just going to give you my experience and the questions that I asked and stuff like that, and how much they say, even though every state is different, but just to give you like a ballpark of what they say is wrong and everything like that. Thanks so much for tuning into All Things Tree. Don't forget to hit the little button down there and be a subscriber so you can know every time that I upload a video. Also, leave a comment below of your experience or experience of someone else, just so we can help one another. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Until next video, y'all have a great rest of the day.